Elevate is playing here on 96.6 Spirit FM. Music for life at exactly 10 minutes after the hour of 25th of February 2020. And we are just doing this. Artist Turn Up Kameza. Today in studio with us is Mr. Timothy Gasana, Managing Director, BTM TV. But also, he is what I like to call a marketplace pastor.
Very, very true.
Yes. So, and we have a lot of those these days. If you have not understood what marketplace pastor means, don't worry. Stick to the traditional one. So, tell us a bit, just a bit. Don't tell us the full biography. Just, sample us. Who is Timothy Gasana?
Timothy is, like I said earlier, I'm an MD. This TV station. I am young. Very zealous for the media industry in Uganda, but also on top of it for the gospel to be spread. I'm married to one wife who's a woman.
Very well emphasized.
Point taken.
Taken.
Yeah. We about 2 years in marriage now.
Amazing.
Life is good.
Approximately the same number of years.
Shut up.
Trust me.
You did get what I just said, but she did,
yeah.
and he did,
Yeah, okay.
and the listeners know what I'm saying. I'm not much to get there.
Yeah. I went to school. I have a degree in economics. I have a very long time experience with the marketplace. I think I'm coming to about 15 years.
15 years in the marketplace.
Yeah.
Well, of all these 15 years in the marketplace, what would you say is your take on the way arts are being embraced in our community so far?
So far, I don't know. Do I look at
just in
Christian
general?
fraternity?
Let's just do general.
Generally.
First.
General.
Yeah,
I want to first of all believe that Uganda has tried to put out systems and structures to try to support. But you and I know right now that the systems are there, but the implementation
is the issue.
Hard.
Is the issue. So you'll have the law.
There's no budget.
There's no budget. There's
the budget is there, just that there's no budget for the people who are implementing.
It may be there, but the actualization of the budget is also a very big question in this market.
Okay.
The policies are good. The copyright law and all the other laws. People have even tried to come up with associations to support the arts and all the other things. But between me and you, we need to understand that it's not only good when it is in the local. It is good when me and you are benefiting out
of it. Yes.
Because what is the use of it for me to have a talent and I cannot scoop money out of it? I cannot have a good life out of it. So for it to be there is not good for you and me. I have to actualize what has been put on paper, has been put in the local, the government has provided. So to me, I think we need to move from the place where it is in the book to a place where it can be reflected in my wallet. And that's a very big question to be answered in our economy today. So to me, I'm not very contented that this thing is there in the local. I want to be contented when I
it's
see
out.
people benefit out of the art.
All right.
So I believe tonight as we run through this,
we will find a way.
We will seek the dynamics.
All right. Let's now talk Christian arts.
Yes.
Why I'm saying that is I wanted you to give us a general overview.
Yeah.
But and actually it's a very balanced way to put it. But let's look at the Christian arts. When you look at the Christian arts, how are we faring? 1, 2. Do you think that we have been boxed by the four corners of buildings that are now called church? I don't know. Tell us.
I want to be blunt.
Please do.
Please.
First of all, in Christian fraternity, we have developed a very bad habit. I'll call it a discipline. If I belong to a certain faction in the Christian fraternity, I tend to draw only the members of that fraternity. It means if I have talent and I come from this church, there is a way we have begun believing that only the church should be at your back. When it is gone out there, most people will begin asking, where does he come from?
Yes.
Which church does
Who
he
is your
belong to?
pastor?
Who is your pastor? And something I also heard so much is people will even ask you, who is on your covering? Who covers you spiritually? But doctrinally, as a pastor, by the way, I didn't say.
Yes, you did. We said it.
I'm also a pastor. It is not there. It is not there. So you're going to find a lot of talent in church, and believe you me, everyone that is running out in the secular doing well, they have a record of being in church. Now that position is very dangerous for me and you. If I was in church, probably was frustrated. Probably they thought I wasn't good enough to come out, and then a guy out in the secular world identified me, positioned me, and then they have promoted me to be who I am. It asks a lot of questions about how we, the Christians, are doing this thing. And this is my thinking. This is my thinking. We as Christians have not, first of all, put our minds into understanding the dynamics of growth. How do I build my talent? That position that I feel it, I know I am a singer, I know I'm a good DJ, I know I'm a good events manager, I know I can do a lot of arts. I feel it. But then actualizing has to come to a place where you have to fit into the systems of either a nation or a country or maybe a sector. And it's not just about prayer. It's not just about I belong to this church. It means I have to step out into the marketplace, identify what I want to do. If I'm a musician, I know I can do my songs, because you also need to get back to the nitty-gritty. I can sing, but I cannot write songs. So I need to leave that part for the guys who have to write the songs. So I do the singing. So after the singing, how do I do the mastering? How do I go to the studio? Who actually helps me realize that? Now, that is not something you just say, Dinaya kaimba kangene mu studio, nkakube nonye dijao, akantereyo kumpeo. It is not as simple as that.
Yeah.
It means I have to be calculative to the day that song comes to the air. It means I look at all dynamics through. It is a lot for me to actually break it down to the nitty-gritty. But I want us in the Christian industry to know this thing does not just come easy. It is not that I just wake up in the morning and I am DJ AO. This guy has gone through a process, probably had knocks, probably he has made some bad deals, good ones of course, but all along he is learning the dynamics of coming from A to B to C to D. It means it does not do me any harm if I reach out to him and I ask, how did you come to AB? Problem jetulina endala tife tulowooza bwe neebuuza. I am actually demeaning myself, which is very wrong.
We are going to be right back. This is the Rhythm Driven Drive with Wo and Julie, and we are going to start on that point exactly, because that is something I was hoping he would mention, and he just did. We'll be right back. Keep it drive.
We know you've had a long day.
We're talking with Mr. Timothy Gasana, and we are discussing everything technical, everything you need to know about talent management, and benefiting and growing with and from your talent.
Yes.
And I am going to just say this: we are going to continue exactly
where we stopped.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
You said our problem is people do not want to ask.
Yes. It is unfortunate that sometimes it is a thinking. It is an African thinking that bobuza, you are demeaning yourself. But trust me, I saw a quote the other time. The guy said, "If I do your job in 3 minutes and I have an experience of 30 years, you're actually not paying for the 3 minutes.
Yeah.
You're paying my 30 years of experience.
True story.
What we are missing in the queue is that the guys we need to consult have experience in this line of business, this kind of thing that we want to do. So it is the beauty is not surrounded in only the talent that you carry. It is actually lying in the hands of them that actually can bring it from A to B. Because how good or what is it beneficial if it is still with you? It does not help me, it does not help you. But there are guys who have the skill to get it out of you, to get it from you, and put it out there for people to buy. I get so offended many times when the person who has the vision, okay, let me call it like that, because now we're discussing Christianity.
Yes.
The guy who has the vision, the guy who can sing, wants to be their own manager, wants to run their own show, wants to do their own recording. They're the ones to carry the CD, or maybe even to burn the CD, or even to come up with the real arts of the whole the whole industry that they carry. Exactly. So at the end of the day, you yourself cannot have a third eye to look at what you're actually giving the public. So to me, it is important. First of all, every one of us needs a network.
True.
A network of guys who can bring you from a point A to a point B. It may be a lawyer, it may be a manager, it may be a music producer, it may be someone who masters the music, it may be someone who's going to go to all the media houses and take your music, it may be someone actually to as simple as clothing you. So when you cannot identify the guys who have to uphold your hand, your talent, your art, everything that you carry that you think is unique is actually useless to the public consumption.
Very true.
Right. So, Mr. Gasana,
Yeah.
at that point, if I'm fine, I've identified my talent.
Yeah.
I'm starting out as an artist. I can sing, but how do I even land myself a manager? How do I identify someone to help me build the brand probably that I'm supposed to, go with, to build my talent, to expose, to exhibit my talent to the rest of the world? Yeah.
Now we need to know also that the market in Uganda is a little limited in terms of because the managers we have, like Semi or every other managers out there, they have even our education system has built managers not towards human resource but other resources, because you're going to look at the market basket that we have in Uganda, and when you try to reach out to the managers that are in the market, actually they don't have the right academic qualifications to become brand managers. So it means even when I am looking out for a manager, I want to have the right understanding of the kind that I want. But now it becomes more trickier for me who is born again, because there are two things that are happening in me. I have a spiritual discernment that I have to, a position in the spirit that I have to come from when I am trying to give out the information or my talent to a secular world.
Yes.
So it means I cannot just pick any manager. So I go beyond just mere qualification. I have to have the discernment, and two, I have to look out for a manager who actually believes in what I believe. It means that manager will be able to understand if I say I am not going to sing in this particular concert or this place or this kind of people. Or
understand my brand.
Yes, to understand my brand. Because if I pick, let me just give an example. Maybe you get a manager out in the secular world. Just because they've built this brand from A to B, they've made them get more money, more record labels, and they put their songs out there, does not actually qualify them to be your kind of manager. One, because you're coming from a spiritual perspective. There's a message you want to communicate spiritually. But it does not negate them from the essence that they can be your manager. How? Fact that I just want to use the name. I don't know if it is correct to use it on air. Say my manager is Jeff Chiwa.
Okay.
We all know that he's managed all the secular artists.
Yes.
But I am a Christian brand, and I want to sign him up. Before I sign him up, I actually have to be in position to dictate the terms of our engagement. Why? Because every time he drives me his way, I'm going to lose focus. But number two, I have to be very clear from the start. Number three, I have to make sure that what I sign on paper, because that is where now the weakness also is. Most of us are not interested in knowing that the agreement has to be actually documented. It is not just, boy, come manage me, manage my stuff. No, we have to have a legal binding on paper. Why? Because I have to dictate my terms. This is where I sing. This is how I want to dress. This is what I can sign for. These are the places I have to go to. So you give the standards of your engagement. That even when someone wants to elevate you, they have to come back to the book.
Yes.
To do what they have to do for you. Let me say, a big brand like Bell can come in. Jeff has gone there, talked to them, told them I have a big brand. This guy has good music. He can do what you want and ABCD, but he needs money, and he's giving you 600 million. Are you going to go for it? Are you going to go where Bell? No, you are not going to. But it does not mean that Coca-Cola cannot give you the same deal. So being secular, managing a Christian brand
It's a bit technical.
It needs a lot of discernment. It needs a lot of prior engagement before actualizing the thing. Because when you don't look at the papers, that is when you begin to get the mafia managers in the market.
And that's what we want to talk about, the mafia managers, when we return here. Let's wash a couple of dishes. We have Mr. Timothy Gasana. This is Artist Turn Up. He is managing director of BTM TV, one of the coolest TV brands on town right now. And also, he is a marketplace pastor. And he also has been in this media and talent ministry and industry for over 15 years. So he knows what he's talking about. And we're going to talk more and go a little bit deeper. While we're doing this, it looks like more of a contradiction from what we did last time. But I also noticed most of the reasons why we are having Christian artists going off is they are signing those deals he just talked about.
Yes.
And then they are put under some conditions they cannot handle. And then before you know it, we are not understanding why we are singing words we do not understand.
We know you've had a long day. We don't attempt to make it longer.
Now, I'm going to ask this question. At what point in your talent growth do you need a manager? Because I think, sometimes you're there, and then Qualifix tells you he has a manager. And you're like,
and
what?
actually, just to add on your manager.
Then the Deepas also tells you have a manager. What do you
in Uganda,
managers for?
In Uganda, people think that your manager is your boss. Who's the boss of the other? Who hires the other?
The one who is
just
giving you
make
money.
it clear to the whole Ugandan. Everyone in Uganda thinks that the manager is your boss.
The manager is hired and fired, actually. And people need to understand that. It is that hard, eh? But getting back to the other thing, actually getting back to you, Julie. You see the reason why Ugandans are trying to think that way is because the manager will go and bring you a very hot, juicy deal. And because they do so, there is a belief system that actually is wrong, that the man who brings the money to the table has the big kind of decision making. Even the decision making in the whole queue. But you don't need to forget that you hired this guy to actually fetch that money.
Okay.
So the same way we hire, we fire. So me being a manager, I'm not prone to own the brand. I am here to make sure the brand is working, it is effective, it is doing what it wants or it has designed to do. But then getting back to what Awo was saying, what level do you need a manager? Now, we need to understand that at the beginners, not everyone needs a manager.
That's I mentioned some artists' names, not in bad faith,
Yeah.
but sometimes I'm always wondering. Ricky Elvis, what do you need a manager for?
We can't even sign a manager.
No. You don't need a manager at every level. I want to believe that
Actually, I think what helps is really you and help people understand what does a manager do. Because when you help them understand what a manager does, that's when they realize, okay, where I'm at, do I need one?
Yeah. A manager, like the word manager, is to do management. It means he makes sure that all resources are aligned from you yourself, from what you are putting out, what the public is buying, how it is buying it, and how it is coming back to you. It is like a whole vicious cycle of you yourself, like from your development to what you put out, to what the people are buying, to what they are buying, to how it comes back to you. So this man is actually in a position where he makes sure that this thing is running smoothly and effectively. And you're going to also realize that a manager is not necessarily have to be the one running the nitty-gritties. I can be a manager, but I may not be an accountant. I may be a manager, may not be human resource. But I make sure that human resource is doing the right thing.
Accounts is doing the right thing. Administration is doing the right thing. So you basically put the aspects together. Now, what's the difference between a manager and signing a deal with a manager and signing a deal with a record label?
Now, record label will actually do beyond a manager. Record label will make sure that it actually gets your brand, dress it up. Do everything that is possible for that brand to be out there in the market. It means record label may actually come to you and limit you into doing certain things for the purpose of their label. Why? Because
they have standards, they have a culture.
Exactly, they have a culture. They want you to move in that culture. That is why when say you sign with a record label, there are things you're going to drop. There's a dressing style you have to drop. There's a language you have to drop.
There's appearances you're going to disappoint.
Exactly. Yeah. You don't just show up anywhere. You don't just move anyhow like that. They even care about how you present yourself in the public. Why? Because they are protecting something bigger than you yourself. It means you've entered into a circle that is bigger than you yourself. Though there are some elements where your brand can try to dictate how it engages with the record label. Probably, let me say, if I'm going to a certain record label and I already have a signing with AfriCell, and AfriCell wants me to do certain things because I'm a brand ambassador, it means I'm going to present it to them, so they make sure that there are certain things I can do outside the standards of the record label. So that is well understandable. But if they're swallowing you up wholly, they definitely have to dictate everything you do.
So does that mean I can have a manager while at a record label?
I think most record labels assign managers.
Yeah, yeah.
I think if
that's true.
If I know how Swangs works, who you guys call Vinka now used to be Irene Tale's manager. And I think what happens is they have the resources, so she manages the resources on behalf of the label, and she's the one who you deal with directly as an artist, as a brand and stuff. But when we return, I want us to address, we have been addressing a lot for the artists, but now I want to think DJs, I want to think media personalities, radio TV. I want us to, I think that's in the Christian world, I think those are people who are like, they're invisible.
Yeah.
They're invisible.
You use the right word.
They're very invisible.
That's very true.
Like even pastors, today when they are having their events, they are there. They can come to us and tell us, "Voice for me, Karango, Kano, what." But they will forget that you're the one who has done the Karango. Yes. They will forget that it's you who is pushing this thing. But they will remember.
Even a musician themselves, a musician will forget that actually you being on a mic, you push their song.
True.
We'll be right back. This is Artist Turn Up Kameza, and I'm also learning a few things here.
I know, me too.
I'm learning a few things here. Yeah. Some of you today, you might be streaming, but you're pretending like data has run out. But we have got to have these hard talks. Spirit FM, hello. Hello.
Hello.
All
Oh
right.
my, please
When
do
you
call
call
back.
us, do step away from your radio. Feedback is not amazing to
Our
listen to,
ears.
especially us who are in studio. It's not real cool. So you
Yes.
call us. The numbers are 0705 966 966 or 0789 006 966. Spirit FM, hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Fine, thank you. Step away from your radio.
Yes, I'm away.
I'm going to let you go. Step away from your radio, then call back. Solutions.
First of all, church needs to, first of all, be industrial. Industrial, what do I mean? We have a lot of money. We have a lot of guys with money in church. But I think until we can invest in these talents, we are still have to just talk about it. Because let me tell you, you can never build a brand without investing money and time. At least if you have the money, get the maybe an agency or a kind of manager to actually build that brand. Because let me tell you, talent now in church is not something you would say, I want to look for talent.
It is a lot.
Is a lot. Actually, it is so much that most of the guys in church have actually fallen out into the secular world. So the identification
that they have fallen out. They are fished.
Exactly.
You know, these guys are very sharp.
Yeah.
As sharing with Julie sometime, there's a time a mainstream radio came for me and they came with everything.
Yeah.
I was telling her sometime.
Yeah.
I was like, well, these guys are aggressive.
They're serious about what they want.
And they
And
don't
actually,
back
when he
down.
told me, I kept on. I wanted to tell him,
We lost you. Spirit FM, hello. Hello. This person seems to be very
Oh my.
interested in being next to the
But anyway,
radio.
Mr. Gasana.
Being industrial, it means let's identify this talent. Let us put resources into them. Because let me tell you, until we invest and then get them out there and actually present to the world who and how and what they can do is the only way we can make we can utilize and get how do they call it, proceeds from it. Because when we just keep on saying probably this guy is good, he's a good DJ, he's good MC, good in arts, good in this and good in that and good in this, it is just a talk until you say, let me commit 50 million, let me build this brand from A to B, because the truth is the reaping is out there.
Spirit FM, hello. Hello.
What's happening?
You're live on the radio. We're letting this one go. Spirit FM, hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you? Oh,
We're fine. What's your name and where are you calling from?
this is Lydia.
Lydia,
Now
okay.
from Chengera.
Lydia from Chengera, what can we do for you?
Yes.
What can we do for you?
Can you play me? There is a song called "You're a Great God" by the Anointed Crushers. I don't know whether you know it.
We're going to play it for you. Spirit FM, hello. Hello.
Oh my. But anyway, 0705 966 966. So let's cross back to us.
Spirit FM, hello. Hello. All right, I don't know. Something
Thanks.
wrong this side, but the is real.
Yeah.
Yes. So,
So if we do that, then we will have the right procedures, because now that there you have to engage the lawyers and the signings and all the other things. But until a man decides to put money in this talent, it cannot come out there.
Very true.
And just not just putting money, but putting real money. If I say
where you sit down and you're like, you know what?
Yes.
I am going to get Julie.
Yes.
I am going to think about everything from her image.
exactly,
That's on social media,
Yes.
everything. I'm going to package it well.
Yes.
I sit down and I keep telling people, you guys, I don't know if you guys notice this. But these guys have learned. I don't think they have some superpower, or maybe they do. But these guys from Swangs, they will get a random human being like this
And put them out there.
and they will
they are-
pump them. I know there's someone else coming out right now.
Oh, she's already out.
They will
And
pump
they
them
are
in our
pumping her,
faces.
yeah.
And they will pump them. And then we are the ones at the end of the day will be like, hey, by the way, to Kiriza.
Omwana Z.
I-
Mwana inawaka.
Yes.
Now, yeah,
Kumbe.
what they have done really is something that I keep thinking, if a pastor, as like Pastor Chris Oyakilome, can do that.
Exactly.
Because
What's wrong
if
with
Pastor,
us?
what's his name? I don't know why we don't know his name. Like Tim Godfrey's pastor. You know, for a long time,
Oh.
the Tim Godfreys are from Christ Embassy, but
But
there's
they're not,
another church.
yes.
The Mercy Chain was
Yes.
different church altogether. Like those guys, they sit down and they're like, Tim Godfrey's pastor is one person I actually fear. I'm like, that guy is very aggressive. He'll say Tim Godfrey is a good worshipper, but I want him to break out.
Exactly.
So he will say, you know what, we are going to do a concert and we're going to invite Travis Green. But on the contract that I'm signing with Travis Green, I'm going to tell him you have got to do a collabo with my son.
Yes. Yes.
And fourth came Nara. I don't know if you're thinking Nara, but mission accomplished.
Exactly. It comes out of a lot of investment. Question: what are we doing here? Nothing. Because now
So-
the thing is
Kulia buli mere
The-
nokuza bulevu.
Shut up.
because the thing is the pip is okay.
Yes.
You being out there and you're a brand is okay. But how many brands have come out of the brand? I think that's a question we need to ask ourselves in Uganda. Yes, I've seen a brand in some pastors. They're big out there and everything. But how many brands have been there? The only brands you have seen actually coming out are the brands that have been and they're trying to revive them into being brands in the market. But actually saying that this raw brand has come out of this particular ministry, it has been financed, well equipped. It is like this. That is why Ogenokuli excuses. Someone comes to your church to sing, they'll tell you, I am rushing somewhere. Because he knows, you're going to give them 30,000. Not I'm worth 30. Not I'm worth 30. So what he is doing, let me run around.
Get all the 30s he
Yes,
can
into
get.
all services.
Hey.
Let the guy come into your church.
Eh.
Tell him, we as a ministry, we are going to partner with you to make you a brand. We have secured this kind of money.
At a partnering, pastors have a problem when the partnering thing comes with a lot of terms and conditions.
Yeah.
You shall not sing on another pulpit. You shall. They do
You
that.
only worship at my place.
They do that. I want you here.
Techikola.
do
Techikola.
that.
You know, I'm also thinking, when we get back, what are we supposed to do for ourselves? Because I don't think all pastors
Katina,
do,
if they are not-
as the media personalities,
As artists,
as
talent.
artists, as talent, what do we do for ourselves?
First of all, know your value.
Let us stop there and come back shortly.
We know.
It's Prayer or Dead Day. The name of the song is For My Good. I actually discovered this guy through Trace Gospel.
Amazing.
And we actually, like, I keep telling people, he has a very interesting story. I think one of these days we should start Skyping ARTISTE TURN UP.
Obviously.
So that we can
Amazing.
get some of these stories.
Amazing.
So, let's bring this into a really slow conclusion. And I'm going to just ask Mr. Tim Gasana to, conclude, tell us what can we do better, what can we avoid,
And solutions for ourselves.
and also us as talents.
Yeah.
How can we better now start protecting ourselves?
Like I said when we were closing, first know who you are. Are you a DJ? Are you a musician? Are you
An actress,
an
actor?
actor, or
Some of us
anything?
combine things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably there's always a strong point.
But
you
some of us somehow we combine things. I don't know how.
All of them, eh? Okay. Know the package that you carry. And number two, know who you have to contact, because not everybody is interested in the actress industry, in the music industry, in all these other industries. Do some research. Know who you need for your talent to come from A to B. It's now a global village. You can consult on anything. You can actually Google anything. You can know anything. So when you know who you need in this particular industry, then move a step ahead and consult. Now, consultation is also dynamic in this way. You need to know the guys who have been in that particular industry, who are doing actually what you want to do. Get a chat with them, and call them. Maybe reach out to them. Know how they have been able to do it, but don't take their advice as 100% the real practice. Put it in a shelf. Go ahead, reach out to a lawyer, reach out to a manager, reach out to a media personality. Now, when you have gathered all that information, sit down, digest it. And when you are digesting it, at least you will get a light of how you move from where you know that this talent is in you, that this is what you can do, to another step of, say, if I'm a musician, I have my songs, then I have the next step for me is to go to the studio. After I do the studio, how do I get it into the public? Now, in all those things, you definitely have to have people to help you do what you want to do. Now, these are not your high school buddies or the guys you meet on the street. No, you need to get the people who are influential in that line of industry. Now, when you're moving these steps, you need to move them with knowledge. You see, knowledge in this industry is very key. When you just think it is just about singing, you are getting it wrong. You need to know, how do I get my song here? What do I benefit out of my song being here? If I'm a DJ, how do I play this music? What kind of brand am I putting out there? Do I even have a brand name? Because you realize that in the whole nitty-gritty, you have to register your name. You need to make sure your name is protected so that no one else can use it. You need to make sure that actually you even have a little graphics around it, such that when you are presenting yourself, you actually come in as a real brand. Because it gets me back to the question that you were asking: how do I do for myself? What do I need to do for myself? If the world is not helping me, what do I have to do for myself? You need to make sure that the world is desiring to buy you. Because if they don't have interest in buying who you are, then you cannot sell yourself to them. It is another thing to say, I can sing, I can do this thing, I am good at this. But until the world actually hears you do it, see you do it, or have an experience with you, maybe say, I'm invited at a wedding, I'm a DJ, I'm going to play this music. I want to make sure that everyone at that wedding actually feels that this was so and so doing so. This was so and so, the MC. Why? Because I am trying to put out a brand. So it means I am going to make sure I sell myself to this kind of community. How do I sell myself? My language, my looks, how I brand myself. Because sometimes you can just decide to maybe do a branding of a cap, branding of a t-shirt, branding of any other thing. It is no bad deal for you to even have a teardrop of a brand. You say, I'm going to this wedding, I'm going to carry my teardrop, and it has all my brand name on, and I'm the MC. It's me marketing. Now, if someone is approaching you at that point, they actually have to buy into your investment. How? The way I am coming to a guy who's just walked in, my name is Tim, and I'm just a DJ, and blah, 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 I only do weddings. Man, the guy will throw you a 30K. But a guy that they have seen present themselves all the way out to the way they meet them is another discussion. I'll tell you, you will actually have a position to speak on what you want to do. Let me say, I'm an actress. I've been at this show, I've been at this movie, I've done ABCD. And every time I'm coming into a movie, actually I don't bargain just to appear on a movie. I want my brand to actually be part of the record labels that are showing at the end of the movie. Why? Because I am seeing myself beyond just being on a screen set. It means my knowledge, because I did prior research, my knowledge of engagement is not just to talk about that I have a manager. No, I am telling you I'm the best brand in this market. I have a record label. My name is a maybe let me give you an example. Julie. I'm Julie Incorporation. And I want this, my logo, to appear on your movie. I'm not just going to just be on the screen, just my face to be there, but I want it to be there. So I am actually projecting myself bigger than just appearing on your wedding, bigger than just appearing in your movie. It means I am going to invest in myself first before I present myself out there. It is the same thing. you know how you do your thing. You know the latest turntable equipment. You know how you do your thing, ABCD. It means I am going to find a unique place where I actually sell myself out there. If you have not helped me, I am going to make sure you desire me and buy me.
This is not a conversation that we can exhaust in one day. And we just want to say thank you so much for sparing your afternoon and spending it with us. You've been listening to Mr. Timothy Gasana. We have been talking about, you know, the music industry in itself and the things we need to know and the technicalities. We have tried. We can't exhaust, but in case
there's a start for everything.
There's
We've
a start.
given you a beginning point.
If you're a parent, at least you have realized that
you can manage your own daughter.
You can
Your son.
well, we just want to say
I know.
thank you so much for being a part of the show. We have got to say goodbye. Time is not really on our side, but hey, how can people get in touch with you?
My name on
Facebook
is Gasana Timothy, and also
TG.
Twitter. I am T Gasana. I think those are the two I have. The my phone number is 0755 8232 28.
0755 82
32 28.
This has been the Rhythm Driven Travel. Back tomorrow.
Yeah.
Keep it spirit.